Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and I believe you all have seen my previous video that was regarding the geometric terms, and I promised to release a video on the coordinate plane. So the coordinate plane is actually a two-dimensional chart, maybe, like if that makes sense to you, that has two axes. So this is the x-axis, okay, which is horizontal. Remember, that's really important, so you never get confused. X is the horizontal axis and y is the vertical axis, okay. These are just like really basic, and you must remember that, okay. And this is the origin, whose coordinate is usually zero, always 0 0, not just usually. So the origin is 0 0 coordinate. So what are coordinates? Coordinates are actually the numbers that are red, okay. For example, this is a point. If you guys remember, I say that point is a position in space. So if this is a point, okay, right here, and you're being told to read the coordinates, how would you do that? First, you look at the x value, and then you look at the y value, and then you write it like this. So you write the point, for example, A, point B, point C, and in x and y, you put the values that are here and here, okay? So usually the coordinate plane is scaled, okay. So, okay, before I go to that, if you can see this well, the coordinate plane is divided into 4 sections, okay. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they're called quadrants, okay. So this is the first quadrant, the second quadrant, the third quadrant, and the fourth quadrant. So this is the way they're usually labeled in Roman and not normal numbers. And another thing that I think is really important is that in the first quadrant, the x and y are both positive, okay. Both are positive. When you go to the second quadrant, the y will be positive, but the x is on the left side of the origin, so it's going to be negative. So x will be negative, y will be positive. So x is on the left side of the origin, so it's going to be negative, but the y will still be positive because it's above the origin and not below the origin, okay. And when you come to the third quadrant, the x-axis is on the left side of the origin, so x will be negative, and the y is below the origin, so it's also going to be negative. When you go to the fourth quadrant, the x is on the right side of the origin, so it's going to be positive. However, the y is below the origin, so it's going to be negative, okay. So these are some really basic stuff that you need to remember. And finally, yeah, so the xy axis is usually scaled, okay. So for example, if the distance from here to here is 1, and from here to here will be 2, okay, it won't be 1 3 4 7, no, it will have a consistent scale, okay. So 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this is 0, right? So then it's going to be -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, okay. Same goes to the y-axis. So if the distance between 1 and 2 here is 1 centimeter, so the distance between 1 and 2 here will also be 1 centimeter. So it's a consistent scale, okay. It does not change, be sure of that, okay. And so this is just a rough sketch and not a proper plan, so that's why it's a little messed up, but usually it's equal. Also, something that you must have noticed already, but I think I would just mention it anyways. So when you're moving along the x-axis, okay, while moving toward from the left to the right, okay, the numbers increase, okay. So when moving from the left to right, the numbers increase. So -5 is smaller than -3, and then 0 is bigger than -3, 3 is bigger than 0, and 6 is bigger than 3. The same thing goes when you're moving above, from down to up in the y-axis, okay. So the numbers will increase, okay. So I think that's quite clear. Let's learn how to locate places in the xy plane. Let me zoom in a little bit for you to see it more clearly. Okay, so if you guys have seen it already, so this is the xy plane, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the origin, and you see it's kind of scaled, and usually we use a graph to draw all of this. If you have graph papers, that's great. You can screenshot and label it on your graph to locate with me. So the first points I was gonna show you, okay, for example, you have a point A here, okay. Let me put in the points first, and then we can start labeling them. Okay, so I have labeled 4 points. Now let's look for the coordinates of each point. So we have A, B, C, and D, right? Okay, so as I mentioned in a few minutes ago, the first thing that you need to see is the x value. So let's look at the x value. It's 2, okay? 2. So it's going to be 2, comma. And then you look at the y value, it's 3. So it's going to be 2, 3, okay? And then let's go to B. What are you going to do? You look at the x value first. That is negative 2. And then you look at the y value. So that is 5. Don't forget the comma in between, because then it will just look like negative 25, right? So there's always a comma between the x and the y value. And then let's go to point C. Look at the x value that's on top. So that is negative 3. And then you look at the y value. So that is negative 3 also. And then you look at D. Look at the x value. So that's 4. And then you look at the y value, that is negative 1. Okay, so I think that's quite explanatory on its own. You find the coordinates by first locating the x value and then the y value, and you just put a comma in between. So that's how you write them down. And the next exercise that we have right here is, I'm gonna put down some points and then we start to locate them. So our first point is B, 5, 5, Q, negative 4, negative 2, R, negative 3, 2, and S, 1, 0, okay? So let's begin with P. P is 5, 5. So we know that the first digit is always the x value, and then we have a comma, and then we have the y value. So let's go to the x value first. So it's in 5, and then the y value is 5 too. So you go up, 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 up until 5, and then you locate it. So this is point P. Okay, so x value is 5, y value is also 5. Okay, guys, and then we have the point Q, which is negative 4, negative 2. We know that negative 4 is the x value and negative 2 is the y value. So first you go to the x value, that is negative 4, and then you go look for the y value that is negative 2. So negative 2 is here. So we labeled it as Q. So what did we look at? First we looked at the x value, negative 4, and then the y value, negative 2. Okay, so you move in the same line to look for the y value. Now R, that is negative 3, 2. So first is the x value, then the y value. In the x-axis we found negative 3, and now we look for y value that is 2. Where can we see 2? Here, right? So let's locate R. Now we go to S. So S says 1, 0, okay? So the x value is 1, but the y value is 0. So this will be point S, because this is where x is 1, but y is 0, okay? I hope you guys have understood this by now, and I still have, I'm gonna put in some points for you to pause and locate. And if you have any problem, write them down in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to help. So let's put in D, okay, E, F, G, and H. So I've put down 5 points in blue ink. Please pause the video and screenshot or try them out. And if you have any problems, you can email me at funlearn@gmail.com. I provide private tuitions, and if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe and share. Have a good day, guys.